there are some interesting announcements that were made that are relevant to us from a foreign policy perspective. The announcement of enabling e-visas at airports in the next 6 months is a welcome measure. Giving a boost to the Buddhist circuit is something that many analysts, scholars and promoters of both Indian tourism as well as India's strategic interests have asked for in the past, and that got some funding in this budget. There was an explicit mention that trade with neighbors is going to be done in conjunction with states, and they will create some kind of an export promotion council. Hopefully not a bureaucratic council, but something that actually works. There was an announcement that they're going to enable 13 airports around the country to trade, for foreign trade, and so to enable imports and exports and customs and all the other infrastructure that is required. So these are sort of a kitchen sink of ideas that were mentioned, but they're all important, all relevant, and something that the strategic community has been asking for a very long time. So can you, what are some of the things that we can think of going forward that in terms of an external engagement and what you heard from the budget would become important?
I'd like to make another point here, Akshay, about the budget, by virtue of being a policy document, also lays out the government's strategy on inviting capital flows into various sectors. Capital flows from domestic sources, capital flows from overseas sources. And one of the overseas sources is foreign direct investment. And we had all hoped that this policy would lay out a comprehensive strategy on attracting foreign direct investment into a variety of industries. Defense FDI in defense production attracted a lot of attention because India is the largest importer of arms and ammunition. So there were hopes that the government would make a clean break from the past and be really bold, but unfortunately the government has settled for middle ground. It has chosen to allow for 49% FDI. There is no mention of how they want to deal with transfer of technology. And they have said that they added a caveat that control will be with the Indian partner who provides 51% capital. I think that's a dampener. I think that is clearly a red rank for the overseas investors. FDI for other manufacturing sectors, I think, is pretty liberal, and I think they want to attract FDI into manufacturing, given the fact that they want manufacturing to succeed, to really thrive and to grow, and to employ the large numbers of young kids who come into the job market every month. So whilst being liberal with manufacturing FDI, one fails to see what really constrained them in going for a liberal FDI regime in defense production.
Lastly, Rishi, I was a little surprised by how little there was on energy and how India can secure its energy resources.
I also thought they would make some explicit statements or spell out their strategy for energy security, because that's clearly a weak area for us, and we do not have a clear strategy spelled out so far. So one was hoping that they would provide some clarity at least, but unfortunately no, because I think that it's a very important area for us, because we need to really tie up our energy future, and we need to provide for the growing economy. If they want manufacturing to grow, if they want industrials, the industrial base to expand, that would require access to greater energy sources, and sadly that's not being thought through.